how it might look like isn't really looking like a heart. So I got this much. I keep getting it tighter and tighter and tighter. But I need to do some photos of certain things so I could add that into my pattern. It is February 2nd and my kids just got home. I haven't recorded much, but I'm gonna try again. Like always, just try and try and try. But anyway, today I've been thinking about coming up with a new pattern, and I think I'm gonna bring you guys along with me on how I am. I just realized my mic isn't even on. Can you hear me? Let me turn it on. Okay. I think I have it on now, so maybe you can hear me better. So I've been thinking about a design in my head for, since I did one pattern. This one here. Sorry, I have so much mess, but here. This here is a knitted hoodie cowl, and I really love it because it's my first knitted hoodie cowl, and I had a lot of fun like making the panel for this whole thing together. So this is my hoodie cowl and I really love it. I love how it looks up here and it's not like too tight, and then it wraps around my neck and I could wear a coat over it or leave it as is, but then it's like a V thing here with the buttons. But the thing is, this is a knitted project and I don't want to write a knitting pattern. I want to write a crochet pattern. But if I were to do a crochet pattern, it's going to be very different because I want to make something that's easy to do it all in one project without a lot of sewing. So my plan is to do a repeated one where I could just maybe sew the top at the end and we're done. So, and then plus I really like this one, but I don't like how if I turn it around here, you can see at the back here is like tight right here, because it's just basically a long rectangle and it doesn't have any stretch. Well, I want to make it a little stretchy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my plan for this pattern. Can you see this? Okay, so I drew a little picture of how I want my pattern to look like. And I started down here, with the chains, and then I'm thinking I'm using a slip stitch so it looks more knitted, and it's gonna go back up and down, up and down, up and down, and then I'm gonna do a really cool thing at the bottom of here so it'll look like some hearts, and it's just a repeat of that. But at the other side here you can see how it might look like with the panel at the top. So it's just a huge rectangle with the extra rows here, and some hearts at the bottom because, Valentine's coming. And then the bottom here is how it would look like once I close the top. So the top, which is up here, will need a little sewing at the top and then it should close it. So the increased rows at the bottom here is going to help make it flare out so it's not so tight at the neck. So it's going to be more almost like a skirt, or either how it flares out when you wear a hoodie. And a hoodie is a hoodie sweater. So it's small up here and then it gets big and it fits down here. So it's just going to be one big panel with increases at the bottom here. So that's my plan. You can see that, right? Maybe my face is in there, that's why you can't see it. But that's my plan, and I think I have all the information that I need to start making this project. I'm going to use this Thick and Quick yarn that's pink, just like this. And I'm going to use a bigger hook than what's recommended because when I do the slip stitch, it can get quite tight because I hold my, stitches tight. So I'm using a 10mm hook and we're going to give it a try. I'm going to show you how it looks like maybe for a repeat of 3 times of the pattern here, so I can show you what that's going to look like for at least a part of it. And I will let you know if I like it or not. By that time, if I do like it, we'll continue it. If I don't, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to scratch this up and then fix it up, so that way I don't spend so much time making it. Let's do that. Let's see if that would work. I would like to get this done this week, but I'm not sure how fast this is going to be. So I'll check back with you in a little bit. So I have to stop here because I did my first like couple rows, and I like this top part here to this increased part here. So it's gonna go like this, right? At the top of my head here, down to the bottom of my neck, and it flares out like that. And then I wanted to have some heart shapes at the end, but the heart shape stuff that I'm doing here isn't really looking like a heart. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep everything else above, and I won't add this like bubble stitch that's supposed to help make it look like a heart. I think I'm gonna take that out, because what I could do is just like do this top part all the way, this whole thing at the top, like this here, and then when I'm done with the panel, then I can go to the edge of the bottom here and just create these stitches like a border along it to make it look like a heart. So I think that's my plan instead, because I wanted to just do one whole thing like this. I don't have to do a lot of sewing and cutting, but it don't look good. So let's scratch. Okay, so now I know that I need a total of 18 inches from top to bottom, and then also 18 inches across. I have the measurements. I need to figure out my gauge so I know exactly how many stitches and how many rows I'm gonna do to finish this project. So I measured earlier, there's 9 stitches in 4 inches. I don't know how many rows is it yet. While I work through my row, I'll figure that out. But at least I know how many chains I can start off with. So I have 18 inches, and I know we have 4 inches. That makes up 9 stitches. So I need to figure out how many stitches I gotta make. And then from row 3 on to whatever repeat, right? But I need to figure out the other numbers after that, because like I said, I want to make these increases, and I still like how I work this up here. So this might be a little bit different in a little bit, so I'll come back to. So I got this much, and I think as I work this project, my tension gets tighter or something, but I'm most comfortable with holding that yarn that way. So I actually ended up making this a little bit smaller than what I really want. It's ending up to be like 16 inches total instead of 18, so I'm missing like 2 inches, and it's so short on me. So if you, here, I'll show you the top of my head. to my neck is right here. So it's like really short, because I want this part to be a lot lower down here, but then this is gonna be too tight, so it'd be really fitted. I tried it on my daughter and I think it fits her a lot better than me. So I looked back at my numbers, and all my numbers are, I realized that because my tension is smaller, it's actually, I need to adjust my gauge. So I'm gonna do different math and see if I can recalculate this so I have the number of stitches correctly. So earlier I showed you, I said 9 stitches and 4 inch, but it's actually 10 stitches and 4 inches. And then I counted the rows with what I have so far. It is gonna be about 16 rows. 16 rows, that is in 4 inches. So I'm going to figure out the correct number, because I have a different ball of yarn that I could work on. Because this thing, I'm just going to leave it this way and then go get some more yarn and make it for my daughter. But this one, I can work on the one that fits me. So from going on, starting from here on, I will be using this color of yarn, in case you're wondering what happened. So this will be on hold until I get more yarn, but this is basically what I have so far. So it goes like that, and it flares out. It's supposed to sit like on the shoulder like this. And then you could just sew the top. So it's supposed to be really easy, but all right, I need to figure out the math. Good morning. So yesterday I ended up spending some time with my family yesterday. So I brought my project with me to finish it, and I'm not liking how it looks like, so I've actually made a change. So this is the yarn that I used, and I used a slip stitch only in the back loop. And I keep getting it tighter and tighter and tighter, and I'm not liking how it looks like. So the only way for me to kind of change that up so that it doesn't look so tight and actually fit me is to use a different stitch. So I decided to use I think it's a half double slip stitch. I might be wrong, but I'll put it in here if I said the wrong one. This is how it looks so far. So it's a little bit bigger, but it's still, you can still see like like it looks like a knit stitch, but it's actually just, you know, ribbing. So I do it in the back loop only, and it still looks really nice. And it's loose, it's not tight, so like it's got stretch to it, you know. And it's big, and I like it big. So if you put it out over my head, it's gonna be humongous here. But that's the goal, because I have an idea of how I'm gonna have it around the head so that it looks, you know, comfortable. So this is how it looks like so far. And if you compare it, sorry, my hair is a mess. If you compare it side by side to the old one, this one's really tight and short. This is really loose and long and big, and I prefer this long big one because it actually works a lot faster if I do it the new way. So I just have to tweak a little bit into the pattern, and I'm gonna keep working on this and see if I can get it made today. I will probably show you the halfway when I'm done, and then the end of it, because I want to show you how I'm going to finish it up and how it's going to look like with the final product. But anyways, I'll check back with you later. So this is 2 balls of yarn. I might need to go buy 2 more, but this is how it's gonna look like once it's up here and sitting on my shoulder. Because basically I could put a button right here. Can you see? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. We're almost done. I need to buy 2 balls of yarn. Okay, it's the following day. I couldn't find any of this color at Joann,
and they didn't have any pink. So I ended up using the pink that I made in the first sample. I was gonna, you know, keep it for my daughter, but then I ended up using that, and it blends in really well because, you know, the green also has some pink. But I couldn't find any pink, so I bought a ball of white yarn just in case, because it's just gonna have to be a color block one. I don't know how this is gonna turn out anymore, because I at first just wanted like a one color kind of thing, but now it's turning into a very color block project. So we're gonna do it anyways because I want to get this done, and I want to see how it looks like, and I want to write the pattern down, because what's gonna happen is I might not like the colors, but the project might be really a really good design. So I'm gonna keep using the white, and we're gonna finish this. I'm basically pretty close to being finished right now. I want an 18-inch kind of width, and we are pretty close at 18, but when I try it on my head, it's still a bit like tight, so I'll show you. So it needs to, it's gonna be like this, and then at the top I'm gonna sew it, so it's gonna be a hoodie like that. So up here is kind of too tight for my liking. I want it just a little bit looser, so I might add like a row or two of white. I mean, I could probably stop here and just block it, and it'll be pink and green. Should I? Maybe I'll block it first to see if I like it, because when you block it, then you can always like make it a little bit looser, and the fiber relaxes it. I think I might block it, because I would rather not have to add the white if I don't have to. But that's how it might look like. Anyways, if you see I'm moving here, I'm actually like walking on my little walking pad. Just trying to get into the habit of walking at least an hour a day when I'm off of my actual hospital job, because I've noticed that when I'm crocheting or doing stuff like this, I'm hardly ever moving. So I tend to not be able to focus well when I'm walking too fast. So I'm going at a really, really slow pace just to keep the movement going while I crochet. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna work on this right now, because I would have to get off of my walking pad to steam block it. So we'll put that on the side, but I do have other projects that I want to work on while I'm waiting. So I'm gonna keep walking and crochet a different project. When I steam block this hoodie thingy-majiggy, I don't know what's it called yet, I will show you how it looks like. Guess what? I made it. Okay, it's not perfect yet, okay? Because I haven't finished sewing in the loose ends and stuff, but just imagine. Just imagine. So it's loose, it's not tight like it was this morning, and this is perfect. Okay, so I just put it on the scale, and the amount of yarn that I actually have in here was 14 ounces of yarn. So I'll just take note. Needed And I know I used 2 of the mixed green color, and then probably 1 of the pink, or even less than 1, I think. But I will definitely have to tweak this pattern here, because originally it was all slip stitch and now it's actually half double slip stitch, and the diagram has changed just a tiny bit, so I'm gonna edit that. But first, I'm way too excited. I'm gonna go finish up making this so I can actually see the finished product, because right now I still have a lot of stuff I have to sew in, and I'm thinking about putting 2 buttons on here, so maybe buttons today, maybe not, depending, because I might not have the right buttons. So if I don't, I'm gonna leave it as is and we'll leave it out, but that way I can start writing up the pattern. But this is exciting. I originally wanted to do like hearts at the bottom of here because it's Valentine's Day, but I don't have enough pink yarn, and so I'm just gonna leave it as is and say that it's done. So this is really cute. I really like it. I don't know if you like it or not, but I do. I'm excited. Anyway, it's been really fun creating stuff, so I'm gonna finish this and I'll show you the finished piece when I'm done. What do you think? I finished sewing in all the loose ends. I like how it looks kind of like a collar, you know, you just put it here and leave there. It's not too bad, right? I was thinking about putting a button here, but I don't think I have the right buttons to go on. I'm almost like thinking like maybe I don't put a button on. I don't know. What do you think? Comment below. What should I do? Should I leave it? You guys, I have the coolest idea. Well, it just popped up in my head. Yesterday I went to Joann, right? I didn't have enough yarn, and I was looking for a gift for my sister because it was her birthday, and I'm like, oh, you know, that thing looks really, really cute. I'm just gonna buy it and wrap up the present with it. I ended up not using it, but I was just walking by, and this is like the prettiest like cloth looking ribbon. You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm gonna weave it through my hoodie, and instead of button, I'm just gonna tie it as a bow. Let's see how it looks like.
Good morning. It is Sunday, February 9th, and I'm feeling kind of sick, like my throat. I kind of lost a little bit of my voice. But anyways, I hope you can hear me pretty well here. This morning, after I got ready, I did a little bit of walking on my treadmill, my little walking pad. And now finally I'm sitting here and I'm working on my enchanted hoodie. I've actually started working on this enchanted hoodie maybe last week, and I made a pink green one, and that one's really cute. But I need to do some photos of certain things so I could add that into my pattern. And currently right now I finished making this white one, and I am working on the instructions on how to weave in the ribbon as the pink one that I have over here. So I'll show it to you. So this is actually the inside where you see a lot of ribbons. I think for me, because I like a thicker ribbon for the bow tying part,
So I hide this in here because I don't like how it scrunches up and it's kind of not that appealing. But if you look at the bag, this is the outside of the project. You hardly see it, it's just very small, so I prefer that one, because what's happening is when you put this around your neck and you cinch it up, you hardly can see it anyways. So this is the right side of the project. I'm going to show you how it looks like when I put it on. As you can see, the hoodie is really long and kind of big. Let me just focus on my face so you can see the top of it. And it's pointy at the top and kind of big here, because you see this part supposed to go in the neck is this part here is really wide. I did that on purpose so that when you cinch this up closer to your neck, this thing is not too long and it lays over your shoulder comfortably, and when you tie it over, it covers your neck comfortably as well, and then it gives you this big voluminous hoodie, so it's not too tight. Almost looks like a cape almost. But I named this the Enchanted hoodie because somebody had commented in my IG on the post on the reel that it looks like a magical enchanted hoodie, and I'm like, yes, that wasn't like the original vibe of it, because originally I wanted to do like a simple one color of this screen, but I ran out and I was like, never mind, it's okay. I was trying to go towards like a almost like pretty cute Valentine kind of look, and I just so happened to have some of the pink left from my previous sample, so I ended up using that one instead to finish the rest of the project because it matches this green pink yarn anyway. So that's how I got the name of this hoodie, and I think that's enough blabbering. I'm gonna continue to finish weaving in the loose ends on this white one here, and then I'm going to do a couple of photos of how to weave in, how to actually close the top of the hoodie and then weave in the ribbon, and I think that, and then block it. I'm going to take pictures of before and after, and then that'll be included in my free pattern on Instagram. So if you like this enchanted hoodie, by the time I post this YouTube video, the free pattern should be available already on my Instagram, and I will also have a PDF available on my Etsy and my website for sale as well. Yeah, I hope you like this. is how it looks like after I sew in the top and also the loose ends, and this is before it's blocked, so it's a little bit smaller. Cool thing about steam blocking, sometimes my favorite thing about it is while you're like steaming this, you can see the fiber like shrivels up or relaxes, and it's really cool. It's not sick. I'm going to thread carried it. Shadow quality. You just see that. Measure. So this is 20. So I'll just do 40, 60 here, and then 68. So you can round it up. It's better long than not. Do is I'm going to just cut a slant because I like the end of my ribbon to be slanted. Oh my gosh, I barely have any left. Like, I should have just like cut there. Anyways, I'm not cutting this piece until actually, you know what, I should cut it. I'm just gonna pair it up. Mine doesn't have any frills at this time, but if yours is frilly, you can use a lighter to kind of like for example that. This one. You can use a lighter to like kind of just take off the frill with. So I have a 62 inch. 62, about 68.